'Twas a dark and stormy night in Ireland it was. Okay, it was the middle of the day, and I was on my way to a village bookstore in the Dingle Peninsula in Ireland, and I wanted to research a verse in the Gaelic Bible. Mercy and truth have met together and kissed. And so as I was in the bookstore, I was sitting at a table, and this very strange man came in and sat across from me. And he said, "Oh, a lovely lady with a long coat." And I kind of giggled, and he said, "If you think I am coming on to you, you are mistaken. I have a lovely lady of my own at home." And then he said, "But I am Michael, the last of the fairy kings, and I have the white magic that you need." And I said, "Actually, I think I have something better." And he said, I want to hear nothing you have to say, but you need the white magic. Meet me at some place at 3 o'clock. And about then, the owner of the bookstore told him to leave me alone in Gaelic. And then he said, "F off," in English, I presume. Needless to say, I did not meet him at 3 o'clock anywhere. And I got what I needed and went back and recorded, or gave it to the engineer's wife, who recorded "Hunga Ganuk, a glure in our jar." And then our story takes us to Hong Kong, where I was given a Chinese flute. So, when I got to Hong Kong, my promoters took me to the venue where we would have the concert, and I set up, and then they took me to the hotel. And when it got time to go to the concert, they wanted to put me in a taxi and gave me the address, and I didn't feel right about it, and I told them so. And they thought I was silly, and they said, "It'll be fine, just, he has the address, don't worry." And so as we're on our way there, I see him going, and we're lost, right? I did not bring any phone numbers with me. I don't speak Cantonese except for haya haya and hoa hoa. And haya means yes, and I don't remember what hoa means. So as we're going along, suddenly I see the building. Who knew? And so I hit him on the shoulder and I go, "Hiya, hiya, hiya, hiya." And I arrived at the concert. I was thinking, if my mother only knew what happens to me when it's happening to me. Anyway, I made it. And I wanted to tell you one more story. And this is like a fulfillment of a prophecy that I was given twice. And it happened after I played 5.5 hours in a field at the Harvest Festival for Rick Joyner. And after the concert, I only had a short time to get to the airport, And I knew that even with my ticket and getting there in time, I was going to be late for my own concert. So when I got there, I gave the attendant my ticket, and she said, "I'm sorry, but this ticket is a month old." And I was horrified to realize that in trying to get the best ticket, you know, the best price and everything, at the last attempt, I forgot to put the date back to the correct date. And she said, "You'll have to buy a new ticket." And I said, "I can't do that. And I have a concert at this time, and I'm going to be late for my own concert. I cannot buy a new ticket." And I heard God say to me, "Ask for the supervisor." So I asked for the supervisor, and she did not want to get him, but she did. She went to the back room, and in a few minutes she came out and threw a new ticket at me. She was so angry, and I walked away smugly, went to the gate, and it was like empty, like a ghost town, and I'm like, this doesn't feel right. I'm like, what's going on? And so then finally somebody comes at the podium, and I went up to her and I said, "Is this flight going to go?" And she said, "Yes." And I said, "You think there's any chance we'll leave early?" And she said, "Oh, I'm sure." She said, "The pilots always come early, and I'm sure when he comes, he'll just take you right on over." And, you know, I'm always worried about how many carry-ons I have, because I always have too many. And, you know, the harp, the bass flute, they're both strapped on me. The computer and the purse is, you know. And so anyway, here comes the pilot, and he comes over to me and he says, "Here, let me carry those items for you." And he takes me, and we load the plane, and I'm sitting next to the pilot, and I'm the only passenger on the plane. So it was fulfilled that I had my own jet. I mean, they had to lose money taking me to another state, right? Right. And this has been another episode of Theresa Trek Tuesday, episode number 7. Stay tuned next week for a historic event that has never ever happened before will happen before your very eyes. See you next week.